pride is all over the place. Like, it manifests differently. But if you go to San Juan, there's people that is proud of Puerto Rico as much as they are in a little town in the mountainside.
Oh, I love my culture. I love my people. As you can see, we talk a lot. Where I see a little difference when I'm on the state, in the state everybody lives pretty close, like working and all that. And in here, you talk to everybody. At least I've been here in Ponce for my whole life. I know everyone, so I love it here.
The weather is unbeatable, as you know already.
We have a lot of beautiful things, a lot of environmental beauty that's, like they say, we are a paradise.
My favorite thing about Puerto Rico is probably the food. So I really like the food here. It's very different from other places. It works really well to represent our culture in a certain way.
I think music brings a lot of, big people of Puerto Rico united. It's impressive to see that there's a lot of people having very different lives, coming from different backgrounds, that are still happy of being here. And even with the imperfections of our government, the economy, they still love to be here. And I'm one of them as well. The pride, I think, is all over the place.
I know everyone. I love my space here. I'm happy here. I wish I don't have to go, from Puerto Rico one day, which is an idea that everybody has because of everything that is happening.
My name is Omir. I'm from Puerto Rico. I've been here since I was born. I live in Bayamon.
My name is Annette Jimenez. I live here in Puerto Rico. I have 54 years.
My name is Jorge Montalvo. I'm currently a tour guide and also owner of Patria Tours. It's an excursion company here in Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in the island. I was born in 1988. And for most of my life, San Juan has been home for me.
I'm an environmentalist activist for many years, for more than 35 years. Working with different communities around all over the island. And it has been very rewarding.
I've been doing jewelry for more than 20 years. I'm a stylist too, and then I received the opportunity to work with Key Australia a couple of years ago, and then I left my beauty salon because of the eyewear. Now I have different lines in here that I work, but that's the way I started.
So we don't like Act 22. In Puerto Rico, we don't need Act 22. The Act says that they want investors, people with a lot of money, not me, but people with a lot of money, to come to Puerto Rico and invest.
To come from the United States or any other places to establish in Puerto Rico, and they would have the benefit of having their corporations not being taxed for capital gain taxes.
Not for the benefit of Puerto Rico. It's for the benefit of some individuals that have the financial power to influence politicians, not only in Puerto Rico, but in the States.
They don't pay taxes in the United States, and they don't pay taxes here. What does that sound like? When you and me and all of us, we all have to pay taxes. They don't give us that relief. So it's not fair, right?
Pretty sad. It's crazy. Like us as Puerto Rican citizens, we pay taxes, and then people from around the world can come here to our island and make business and don't pay any tax. They're stealing our beaches. which is supposed to be public for everyone, and the government is not doing anything about it. It's pretty sad for us, you know, like we're losing our space.
On the other hand, you have local people like are running smaller businesses that they have to comply with the local taxes like everybody else do. So you are incentivizing people that are coming from elsewhere, giving them an opportunity, but you're not giving that same opportunity to local people here that have been struggling for a long time. They're not getting incentivized.
It's been hard because we had the earthquakes, we had the Maria hurricane, which was terrible, then Fiona last year. It's been complicated, you know, to keep going as a small business, but here we go.
Some of the beneficiaries of Act 22 have come to Puerto Rico to develop Airbnbs. And there's cases where these investors had bought a full building. They have sent eviction letters to everybody in the building just to get all the long-term renters away and start short-term renting. That is a predatory practice that is sponsored by the government.
That they've been there living their whole year, just to turn it into an Airbnb is completely sad for us. It's frustrating.
They want to build luxury hotels for the people who come in the cruises and all this stuff. You know, they just want to get rid of them. They're communities completely. I mean, grandma, their grandchildren, their children, and you know, it's a whole family.
So you're not only displacing local communities, you're also waiving them from paying their, fair amount of taxes for their businesses they're running here.
Where I live in my community, actually, there has been people from Act 22. And I am really upset because guess what? They don't live the property and they invested. I have a neighbor who lives right in front of my house. She invested in the property. Guess how much money she paid for her house, for that house? She paid almost $1 million. Guess what? She doesn't pay taxes. Guess what? She doesn't live. But guess what? Who supervises? You don't have enough personnel to supervise to see who really is complying with the law. So that's a big problem. So why have laws if you're not going to have supervision? You know what I mean? That's important. I call that like corruption because it's easy to do corruption legally.
The government does not verify that we are having a real benefit of having this law. And the reason they are not making this investigation is because they know that there is no real benefit. Because independent press organizations have made the analysis, and actually there is evidence that there is no benefit of having this law. The only benefit is for that people that are tax evaders.
70% of the properties bought in Old San Juan over the last 5 years have been bought by people from abroad, many of them beneficiaries of Act 22, and they have been for the purpose of turning them into Airbnbs. So what are we getting out of the investment? That is foreign investment here is going through mostly in grand part for tourism in that sense.
What is happening? Young people like you guys who will soon be professionals because you're going to finish your university can't even afford a house. Do you think you're going to have enough money to buy a house at least at $500,000? No.
In my case, I've been looking for a property to buy. And when I look at the prices, it's staggering. It's like it's like seeing like gas prices in the States at $10 a gallon, right? It would be like, whoa, what's going on?
I can't buy a house in my own community. If I leave, I can never come back because I could never afford a house of $1 million.
In the case of San Juan, is where I've been working for the last 9 years as a guide, you can actually see the change in the town's demographics, right? You see more abandoned property and more tourists at the same time. So you will reach a point that tourists will come here to okay, what I'm going to see in Old San Juan? Airbnbs and souvenir shops and a couple of restaurants, is that it? What makes Old San Juan beautiful as well is its people. Is the people that are painting the houses with beautiful colors, is the people that can give you directions in their bad English, or will try to give you them in Spanish, and in a Spanish that you can understand. Is the ones that are going to decide the governors and the mayors of the towns where you have the Airbnb. So the local community has an important role in any neighborhood. And if you just displace them to bring people that is going to be staying there for a few days, that changed the towns completely.
I feel great being Puerto Rican, and I will always, I'm never going to leave this island.
My hope is that we can get united, like Puerto Ricans and the people in Puerto Rico, regardless of from where they are, they can get together to make this a more hospitable place for everybody, that we can deal with issues, big issues like inequality, like crime, like misogyny, and many other of the social issues. We can have a conversation to fix them effectively. Right? I wish Puerto Rico could transform its politics. It could transform the government as well.